Hi, this is Julie at Beginning, and I hope that didn't start before I started talking. Anyhow, I'm in my basement in a new location. Actually, I went to an online retreat this weekend, so I needed a quiet spot away from everything to do that. And so I carved out a little spot for myself in the, the playroom downstairs. So here I am in the playroom. The online retreat I did was through Living Miracles, and I will link to that below. If you're interested in the teachings of A Course in Miracles, which I am, and I read it every day, um, it's a wonderful resource. And you might really enjoy some of the things they offer. So today, what I feel guided to talk about is the idea of trusting everything you hear, like every word you hear. I don't mean that in a literal sense, because we have so much doubt running in uncertainty, running in our separate personalities, are viewed as separate personalities. I wonder what's going on up there. Anyhow, um, we will bring the untrustworthy to us. We're like calling the experiences of doubt and uncertainty to us. If you think of a separate personality as a program, and a program that can seem to change over time, what the seemingly separate one brings to itself as we wake up to the one of us is, well, always exactly what's needed for healing. So, what do I want to say about that? It doesn't mean that we should, take everybody literally, or try to believe people when we really don't believe them, or to be insincere, but to just look at it as a really helpful possibility that in some way everything everybody says to us has truth behind it. If you can't witness the truth in it, because words, what do I want to say? The first thing that came to my head was words don't mean anything, which is true. They have all the meaning we give to them. And so if you think about how it seems that individual words have separate meanings, and we put all those together and then we glean a meaning from all of that, it's more actually the resonance we're sharing. And we think it's due to the separate words. And we think it's due to the characteristics of the separate personalities and the brains operating in the separate bodies. But that's the experience we're giving ourselves. So somebody is speaking to you and you're feeling a certain resonance. And right there, the temptation to judge comes in, because if somebody is speaking to you and you feel something negative, that there's going to be a temptation to judge yourself or the other, and to feel that your identity depends on holding that judgment in place. But if we take the other invitation there, which is to feel the resonance and see if there's any discomfort there, and to realize that this is what I've said I need to hear it 1,000 times. I need it to flow through me 1,000 times so I can put it into practice, allow it to come into practice in my daily life. So as these words are coming through the other one, and we're being reactive to what it is we're feeling something. If we're feeling something off, it means we're making a judgment. And if we're making a judgment, it means we're attaching to a lie sent to us by ego. So if you think of everybody as the Christ, everybody as the one of us, there's only one of us, and that one of us is love. And so it seems like one facet of this oneness of us is speaking to you, and you are judging that one, or you are judging yourself. What's happening there is that you're kind of bouncing off what you perceive to be the other, and using it as a reason to keep running in separation perception, when the opportunity there is to allow. Did you need to talk to me, Sue? Is it okay if I finish in 5 minutes? Then okay. So the opportunity there is to allow the reactiveness to come, but to know it's your deal, and to know it's a deeply ingrained habit you have, and to be open for something completely new to come through you, which is really you, not the false you you've been allowing to speak through you, which would be all the judgments of the ego given a voice through you. There's something else that can come through you, and it's truth and appreciation and love and compassion. And this is deep for me here. It's like it's everyday interaction for me, so it's really a place of deep learning for me. So I'm going slow with it. So, and also it's something I've always said before, but it's like a new facet of it when I'm listening to people talk, just kind of honing in on that part. So my reactiveness comes up. That's, like I've said before, the opportunity to accept healing, but to look at how I'm labeling and to watch, to be the observer, to watch the suggestions for how I should label a separate one, and to see the temptation to attach to that label and define that one as separate and see them as separate. That's, to watch it means I'm coming out of the habit. I'm the watcher. And the watcher is not the ego. The one who observes the ego running is not the ego, and the ego is nothing. So it kind of just dissipates and disappears and becomes invisible. But anywhere we're feeling tension and stress is where we've got that program, that separate personality program running, and we're buying it. And we have those programs running for others, and we're buying them too. We're believing that others really are this way or that way, instead of just the oneness of us, the simplicity of that. We're believing others really are this way and that way, and we stay running in that programming. It's like there's this option that we do not have to run on that programming, and it's very simple what we could do instead of that. It's just that we're so used to doing the complex thing with a lot of intense thought activity that we don't trust the simple. And it's very much a slowing down and a watching and a realizing that every interaction is for this purpose now of coming out of the perception of seeing everybody as separate, and is motivated by something unique to that personality structure. All that can come through any of us is either the ego, the seemingly separate one reporting live from ego, just all the conflicted thoughts that ego will suggest, and all the going this way and that way, and all the good guy and bad guy, and good and bad, and this should be better, and that's much worse, all the pulling back and forth of that. Or we're reporting live from who we are, which is very simple, very loving, very peaceful, not dramatic. It's very simple and very appreciative. So I am just coming to appreciate the opportunities I get, and they're rocky opportunities sometimes, to just realize the extent to which I have been clinging to this, seeing others as separate deal, and realizing that I can really be guided out of it now. And what is everyday life for? It's for that. It's to be guided out of that perception and to become rooted in true perception and rooted in truth. So my perception will reflect back to me what we really are. And so every experience we have, we're calling to ourselves. And if I'm in a conversation where I feel disturbed, I must have wanted to shake myself up so I could let go of what I've been holding on to that's disturbing me. The only thing that could disturb me is the tendency to rely on ego, disturbing thought to tell me who I am, who everybody else is, and what's going on. And it doesn't have to be that way at all. Who we truly are can tell us so much more. And who we truly are is the basis of our happiness. And seeing that one beautiful, shared, and harmonious self operating through all the selves feels so much better. So that's where I am, and taking the invitation to kind of marvel at the words that are exchanged among people and how we interpret them and what we think is going on, and just taking the invitation to sink very deeply into healing and appreciation. So I hope you have a lot of good opportunities this week to serve yourself and others that way. I know you will, and there's no other way it can be. So take care and have a good week.